To support the author, subscribe to the channel and watch the video to the end. I fell in love with someone else and filed for divorce, her husband told Valentina, and these words seemed to thunder in her soul. She stood in their cozy apartment, surrounded by memories of evenings together, travels, and dreams. It all seemed so far away now. Seryozha, with whom she shared her life, her joys and sorrows, suddenly became a stranger. Valentina remembered how they met at the university. He was so charismatic, full of life, with a sincere smile and a dream for the future. They studied together, made plans, and soon after graduation they started a family. They had a small apartment, where every corner reminded of how they tried to make it cozy. Her dreams of children, of living together, of happiness, all this was now falling apart before her eyes. When Sergei said these words, Valentina couldn't believe her ears. She thought that everything was fine with them, that they would overcome any difficulties together. But now her world has collapsed. Her voice trembled as she asked, "How could you do that? We've been together for so many years." He looked at her with cold indifference, as if her words meant nothing. "I fell in love with someone else. She makes me happy," he said. And there wasn't a trace of regret in his voice. Valentina's heart ached. She felt like her world was bursting at the seams. She remembered how much effort she had put into their relationship, how she had tried to create comfort and warmth. Now it seemed to her that it had all been in vain. "You're wrong," she said, trying to hold back her tears. "We could fix it." "I don't want to fix anything," he replied, and there was no doubt in his voice. "I've already made my decision." These words were the last straw. Valentina felt her world crumble. She packed her things and went outside, not knowing where to go. Thoughts were spinning in her head about how she could not have noticed what was happening, about how she trusted him. She walked through the familiar streets that once seemed familiar to her, and could not hold back the tears. It took several days before she was able to recover. A new chapter had begun in her life, and she knew she had to focus on herself. It was difficult at first. She quit her job, couldn't focus on one thing, but gradually began to rebuild her life. Valentina enrolled in self-development courses and started playing sports. It helped her to take her mind off the bitterness and find new strength in herself. In a poi. The summer, when the sun was shining brighter than ever, Valentina decided it was time to change her life. She started traveling, discovering new places and new opportunities. She met new people who supported her, and her life gradually filled with joy. Soon, Valentina met Maxim. He worked in the office next door and often went to the cafe where she spent time. At first, they just chatted, but soon their friendship grew into something more. Maxim was kind, caring, and understood what she was going through. He wasn't in a hurry, he wasn't pushing her, and that attracted Valentina. Their relationship was getting stronger every day. Valentina felt happy and confident next to Maxim. He became her mainstay, and she opened up to him, telling him about her fears and experiences. They spent time together, walked around the city, had romantic evenings, and discussed dreams about the future. Valentina understood that now she had the opportunity to build a new life full of love and happiness. 5 years have passed, and Valentina and Maxim have decided to get married. It was a new stage in their lives, and she was ready for it. She felt that she had finally gained stability and confidence. But soon after the engagement, Sergei called her again. At that moment, she was overcome with anxiety. "Valentina, I need to talk to you," he said on the phone. "It's important." Valentina's heart began to pound. She didn't know what to think. "What do you want to talk about?" "What is it?" she asked, trying to keep her voice calm. I understand that I was wrong, and I want to apologize. I still love you, he said, and there was a note of regret in his voice. Valentina felt her stomach tighten. She remembered all the suffering he had caused her and replied, You have no right to say that. We broke up, and I'm happy with Maxime. Sergei tried to convince her, but Valentina was adamant. She couldn't afford to fall victim to his manipulations. Again. Shortly after, Valentina and Maxime celebrated their first wedding anniversary. It was a day she would remember for the rest of her life. They spent the evening with close friends and family, and Valentina felt that she had finally found happiness. She was ready for the new challenges and adventures that lie ahead. However, a few months after the wedding, Valentina received an unexpected call from Sergei. He said that his new family had broken up and he wanted to meet again. At that moment, she was overcome with anxiety. Valentina, I want you back, he said on the phone. I understand that I was wrong. Valentina felt her heart tighten. She knew that she had to be strong and not give in to provocations. You've already lost me, she replied, her voice firm. I'm happy with Maxime, and you can't ruin it, Sergei tried to convince her, but Valentina was adamant. She couldn't afford to fall victim to his manipulations again. Time passed, and Valentina continued to build her life with Maxime. They traveled, discovered new places, and enjoyed life. Valentina understood that she had found her true love, and it gave her strength. However, a few months after the wedding, her life changed again when Sergei appeared on their doorstep. He looked exhausted and uncertain, and there was something familiar in his eyes. Valentina, I need to talk, he said when she opened the door. Valentina felt her heart skip a beat. She knew she couldn't let him enter her life again. What do you want? What is it? She asked, trying to keep her voice calm. I want you to know that I'm sorry for what happened, Sergei said, and his voice sounded sincere. I realized that I lost the most valuable thing, and now I want to get you back. Valentina felt her anger begin to fade, but she knew she couldn't fall victim to his manipulations again. You've already lost me, she said, her voice hardening. I'm happy with Maxime, and you can't ruin it. Sergei nodded, and understanding appeared in his eyes. I understand, he said, and there was bitterness in his voice. I just wanted you to know that I'm sorry. Valentina felt her heart constrict. She knew that this conversation was necessary, but she also understood that she needed to move on. Soon after, she and Maxime celebrated their first wedding anniversary. Valentina felt that she had finally found happiness, and she was ready for the new challenges and adventures that lie ahead. Now, when she looked at her husband, she understood that their love had become stronger, that they had been able to overcome all difficulties. Valentina knew that life was full of surprises, and she was ready to face them with an open heart, surrounded by those who supported and appreciated her.